All right, welcome everyone to the September 2019 meeting of the Cable Television Advisory Board. We do not appear to have a quorum at this point. So, Mr. Painter, could you start us off with the reports?
All right, our current balance of the operating account 2505 is $644,971. Our expenses for August of 2019, including salaries and facility operations, totaled $26,068. Excuse me. Our City Hall and our North High upgrades, I've got an update here. North High, because of the personal, this is it for North High, because of the personnel changes within Access AV, we were unable to proceed with the North High high definition upgrade before the start of the academic year. Working with the school and Access AV, they are now scheduled to perform the upgrades during the Columbus Day weekend, October 14th and Tuesday, excuse me, October 15th, for completion prior to the, prior to the Board of Education meeting on Wednesday, October 16th. For the Aldermanic Chamber, as plans have evolved to physically update and upgrade the chamber with a new layout, whatever becomes the final configuration will not affect us as far as the placement of our cameras around the room. So thus, Access AV will be performing the high definition upgrades November 13th, 14th, and 15th. We have a rule change update. The new FCC rules changes concerning in-kind contributions and franchise fees are set to take effect September 26th. And Pete will discuss that after we speak. The Mayor's Internship Program. We were fortunate enough to have 2 interns this year through Mayor Doncich's summer intern program. Both Anna and Timothy are starting their senior year in the school this fall. Each worked on summer video editing projects for one of the community TV channels and also completed a personal project on a subject of interest to them. They know they are welcome back and anytime, and we wish them all the best in their future endeavors. It was a great experience with them there this summer. Operations, we had 1,141 cable casts in July. I'm sorry, we had 1,208 cable casts in August. Of this, 17 were live events, and this broke down to Education 99.6 and Government 1611. We had 1,134 playbacks, and this broke down to Public 96, 581, Education 99, 372, and Government 16, 181. And
As far as operations for the education channel during that, since we last met on the 11th of July, we did live coverage of the Silver Knights baseball at Holman Stadium. On the 16th, we were back at Holman to do an American Legion baseball game. On the 25th, we recorded the Nashua Fire versus Nashua Police baseball at Holman. Also that night, we provided live coverage on Facebook, our Facebook page, since we had a meeting going on of the Silver Knights baseball. On the 31st, we were back at Holman for another game. On the that was 31st. On the 1st, we recorded a Nashua Library concert, Women in World Jazz. 22nd, Nashua goes back to school night at the Nashua Library. On the 23rd, we did the Nashua School District all-staff meeting from Nashua High School South. And on the 26th, we recorded students returning to school at the Elm Street Middle School. And I can say a little bit more later during Mr. Leish's report if you'd like.
Okay, well, since Mr. Leish's isn't here.
I know, he's not here, so I can I can provide a little report on the...
Maybe we can just transition directly into that.
Okay. Sure. Just wanted to let everyone know we did transition well into the new school year. Our first football game will be this Saturday night. It will be in Nashua South visiting BG, so it still takes place at Stello Stadium. and we plan on live coverage of that. The committee did not meet this week as expected. Ms. Hines had a death in the family, so the meeting had to be canceled. I'm not sure when it will be rescheduled for. And that was pretty much the rest of the report, so.
And Mr. Gagnon is recovering from an operation, an eye operation he has, so I don't have a report from him.
Okay.
You have a question?
Yes.
I'm just curious, what were the personal projects that the interns did for the summer?
Well, Anna is from Kenya. She's over here. She's been here for 3 years. So she did a thing on a project on her favorite games in Kenya, and actually another one on just growing up. Some of the things they did growing up, and that included the games. So it kind of then sprouted out to a separate project for these are the games we used to play. So it's very nice. And Timothy.
Timothy decided he wanted to do a project sort of showing incoming freshmen at Nashua High School South, you know, what to expect when they get to school as far as placement of different rooms, facilities, where they might have to go. So he started out outside the school and then went into the main lobby and said to get to A wing, you go this way and that way. So I'm not sure why that was his personal project, but that was something he wanted to do and felt necessary, so.
And we flew the drone for the first time inside. So there was shots there going down the hallways. It was interesting. It was fun.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Still don't have a quorum. Mr. Johnson, could you talk to us about the FCC rule
Sure.
change?
So as we discussed, I believe, when was our last meeting? In July, correct? So at the beginning of August, the FCC finally had their meeting, and as part of that agenda, they discussed the new rules making that they were looking at. They did pass it on a vote of 3-2. So as far as we're concerned, and other PEG stations, we didn't get sort of dealt a final blow yet. Everything that we've talked about in the past has been included except for an amount for the channel space. So at this point, the cable companies cannot charge back a figure for what it would cost to provide each of the 3 channels on a commercial basis. So the FCC still wants that to happen, but they didn't know how to figure out that pricing. So what they have done is decided that within the next year, they're going to have meetings to determine those rates. Unfortunate for us, when that happens, we're in the Boston market. So that's one of the largest television markets in the country, and those rates are likely to be determined by the market that, you know, we're in. So we don't know what that might be in the future. Some good news that we found out is that whatever they decide to charge back in-kind contributions will start from the 5% FCC cap. And since Nashua only takes 4%, sort of that first 1% there, we will not see any changes from. So that's something good. I don't anticipate that will be anywhere over the 1% during this set of rules making, but the FCC has made it clear that they want to continue making changes, including adding cost for the channel. So that's coming up in the next year.
It's important to note that it's up to Comcast whether they want to charge us for that.
Correct. I believe, I've heard 2 different things. The FCC statement says that they will charge for in-kind services, but it still is dependent on what the cable company itself wants to do it. I've heard both ways on different conference calls that I've been on, but I have heard that the rules making has said that it's mandatory. But right now, it seems like the only thing they could charge us for potentially are the cable drops that are within the city, and what it costs them to transport our signal from City Hall to their head end. And also what I believe to be true is they are going to have to come to the city to negotiate those rates before they can start charging them. So we may get a letter from Comcast looking to discuss what those rates are going to be. Any questions?
What's the impact going to be on the stations?
I don't anticipate much of an impact at this point. We may lose a little bit more cable revenue, but I don't really think that we're anywhere near the 1% point yet. So, but when this next phase comes, I think that's when people are really looking to be worried. We were fortunate that it wasn't included in this rules-making process. That was the only thing that was cut out at the last minute, so.
All right, well, certainly bears further monitoring. Let's see, is there anything else that we can address without a quorum? It doesn't appear to. Just for the record, Chief Rhodes is here, Sally Highland is here, and Bruce Cotignone sent a designate. And since I'm speaking to you, I'm here. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, we may call a special meeting if things need to be addressed. But if not, our next quarterly meeting would be in December. Yep.
And if we, obviously, if we have correspondence from Comcast, we'll send it out right away.
Right.
To everybody.
All right. If there's nothing else, since we don't actually have a quorum to vote on things, I guess we don't need a motion to adjourn. But so we'll see everyone sometime in the near future.
Thank you.
Thanks.